Labą dieną, sveiki gyvi. Actually, I can speak English. How much English speakers we have? One English speaker? Two? Three? So, okay, let's be like solidarność, and let's make it. Let's make the presentation in English. So, hello, my name is Algirdas Stonys, and it is wonderful to see you so much people tonight. So, make a big applause for yourselves. So, well, shortly about me. I'm a self-starter entrepreneur. Well, I have started a company, Telesoftas, which the story I want to present it tonight for you. And I started it quite a while ago in 2003. So the aim of my presentation would be share my experience in doing business, and probably for some of you, by the way, do we have entrepreneurs here? How much of you have your own companies? 1, 2, 3. And how much of you want to start your own company? So at least for somebody there will be some use. Yes, as well I would like to give credit to the sponsors of this event, NFQ, DevBridge, Intermedics, of course Visma, Equinox, and Colcredit. Those are wonderful companies. And how much developers do we have here? Whoa, that's what. So this event is actually for human resources recruitment. So I will also maybe, yeah, if you want, you can go to work to Telesoftas as well. So yeah, so Telesoftas, and how I'm now already working in Telesoftas for 11 years, so that's quite a huge, very long span to work in one company, especially in USA maybe or in UK, but for Lithuania it's quite normal. So Telesoftas is a mobile application development, and I started it in actually student dormitory. I was a student of informatics in Kaunas Technology University in 2003. And what I wanted, I just wanted to have a smartphone. I just wanted to be cool, and I just needed some money. So I went to Denmark to make some additional studies and to spend some good time. And I have met a Danish company, LifePilot, and they were actually making first navigator to be used on the smartphone. And I was C++ developer at that time, just like a start, not very good developer actually. But they still needed some workforce, and I joined up with a Danish company, Human, and we have made a product, LifePilot, the first navigator and friend finder. So, by the way, in the process of doing of that, we also made the first HTTP stack on Symbian devices. First documenter, actually Panoramio, and all the picture galleries are derivatives from that, that product. So I started working as a single, like a freelancer, and what happened that this company, Human, they needed more workforce, and I was living in a student dormitory that was very turbulent. And so I didn't have any office, and of course, definitely I didn't know anything about Agile or anything of process. I actually didn't know about the taxes as well, so I was not paying taxes. I was just having fun working from dormitory office, drinking beers with my pals. And what I have seen that actually living this life is a wonderful human resources tool because you have a lot of IT friends and they are all programmers and they are all as well, they like you because they're drinking together, they are drinking buddies. So I talked to some buddies like, guys, maybe you'd like to work for me because I have these Danish people here. They're paying us money, and we get more drinks. And of course, this is how Telesofta started, and my actually. So my neighbors from my dormitory, some group mates, some people I met in a bar, and just random people met them. And we started to work and we started making Symbian development. And at that time, in 2004, 2003, that was absolutely geeky stuff to do. So people were, actually my mom was very worried about me and she was saying that I will never get any job and I will be always like, probably I will go bankrupt soon and I will be like a bum and I will ask for money for her. Yeah, actually, this kind of recruitment is very effective. Well, though company-wise, it's of course not very good because we didn't have any CEO, we didn't have any owners. So Telesofta's organizational chart, we call it a carpet. So everybody equal, everybody on the same level, everybody doing what they want and what they need. No management at all. But it was fun. We were just like working for like a $12 per hour, and it was good money for us at that time. And actually, time came, and I started to need an office because we could not fit in one dormitory room. So, so then I started to think serious about okay, maybe I should start a company and maybe I should be a serious CEO now. And I made like a business plan, and of course my business plan was just like make mobile apps, and mobile apps will be the future. And it was 2004, and I went to the Kaunas technological, Kaunas in KTU in our university. At that time we had a business incubator. It was actually refitted dormitory to office spaces. So, and there was, at that time, Thomas Chernevichus was a CEO of Business Incubator, and he said, like, guys, you're crazy. I will not accept you into my business incubator because you do not have any business model, and you do not have any, like, you just like. It's like stealing money from Danish people and doing some useless applications. That the stupid Danish people, they believe you that it is some, they pay you. So yeah, and it took quite a long time for me to prove my worth. I had to bring documents from banks that I'm really receiving a stable income and that it's really good. So they finally accepted us. And actually in 2005, it all started, well, like my vision for mobile applications and that there will be smartphones and smartphones will be quite widely used and there will be some content that could be sold on smartphones. It all came true and it was such an excitement to see this. Like, in 2005, we got our first customers in Germany, O2. We got them through our partners in Switzerland, actually through my brother, because he was also working in IT space, and he thought like maybe I should give some contract to my little brother and help. So, and he actually told one company from UK that there are some Lithuanians who have made HTTP stack for Symbian devices, and you actually now can use HTTP. If you remember, there was web before HTTP on mobile phones. You remember there was like a web pages, a small page. There was no HTTP at that time, and they were quite thus caught their attention, and they gave us a task to make a mobile application, a content shop for the German operator O2. And of course, the content was like a crazy frosh, and there was ringtones, and there was like some small Java games, wallpapers, and they actually made huge money of it. This Yamba, if you, of course, you don't remember, maybe, or maybe you do remember, this was like, it was sold like for $1 billion, this company, and it was like the greatest startup in Germany in 2005. Yes, and at that time, I started to hire more people. We were not like 6 initial members. We hired 10 people already, and we were a team of 15. And I started to see that this company needs some management, because I could not, of course, I was everybody's friend. I knew everybody, but I needed to manage those people. Of course, we started to work. By the way, it's a wonderful thing about being an outsourcing company is that actually you are outsourcing probably to some larger Western companies that have much more experience. And actually, we started to work with this company, Surf Kitchen, and they actually told us that there is some tools like Bugzilla and Mantis, and you can actually track changes, and you can make bug report, and actually you should do your timesheets and and report, because they were not so trusty as Danish people. They actually counted the money. So they told me that actually there is a thing called process. It is in the companies. And they told me that Telesoftas is a company of cowboys. It's just like developers who can come, and I was still developer at the time, and I was probably, my sales pitch was something like that. Okay, we can do everything for you. You want C# development? We can do C# development. We have tens of years of experience, all our seniors are the best developers in the world. Bye. We can do everything. Look, we have made HTTP stack for Symbian. Look how good it is. Nobody else in the world have done this. We have done this. We are the best developers. Come, pay us money. Yes, so what happened is that that company, Surf Kitchen, they were also a startup. At that time, they only got this one company, O2. But what happened is that they have hired a professional software services delivery and operations executive, Mark O'Shea. And he was actually, well, probably the most valuable man I have met. I never actually thought that this kind of position in the company. And so he was working in like a sunrise operator in the big companies before, and he started to teach Telesoftas developers how to deliver software properly. And he started to teach me, like he was coming to Lithuania to have some drinks with us. It was kind of good, like a customer and client relationship between us, because we were always inviting them here, and here was quite cheap. And we had good beers, and he really liked to come here. So he told me that actually there is a thing called capability maturity model integration. And that actually companies have to, no matter what kind of process is being used, it can be, if you're doing this cowboy style development, do this, you like it, but mature. And that at that time we were unpredictable, and probably I was like having some drinks, and then they paid us money, and then I transferred all money to casino. And at that time was like, I told them, like, guys, I need more money. Can you pay for another month up front, please, now? So, and they had to pay us. So he, after such events happening, he started to teach me a little bit about how I should run the company and what kind of goals I should accept. So The process in Telefostas was completely unpredictable, poorly controlled, it's mild to say, and very reactive. Something happens, everybody's starting to fixing bugs, and wow, it's crashed, it's crashed. That actually we should define how work relations are to be established as the first place. And after that, at least for some project, and after that we have to define it for the whole organization. And if we can do this in a measured and controlled way, and then improve further on, make it iterative, Telesoftas can grow to really, really good CMMI level 5 company. And it's no matter, even without agile process or without any like investigation to ISO certifications or any kind of this, just to focus on your work, on your process in the company, how you hire people, how you interact, what kind of future goals, what the people are expecting when they are joining your company. And if you put this all into order, just define how it can be, then there will be a proper company. And I said, what are you saying? I, of course, didn't understand anything of that in the first place. When he told me, I was just saying like, okay, 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 because he was paying money to me, so I could not object. So, could we? Agile? Nah, really. I couldn't call it like I couldn't. Actually, Agile is very. It's as you know, it's a very broad term. But so I definitely could not name the process in our company at the time, because as I said, we were outsourcing to the we were not making our own product. We were purely outsourcing. So we actually adopted the process from the company that was above us. And they could not do Agile as well, because we were creating app shops for Orange, we were creating app shops for Vodafone, O2, huge organizations, and they had like, the sales works completely different when you work in telecom business. You just come, you wait for a year or two, then raise a budget of like $10 million, and then say like, okay, for this time, to raise this kind of big budget in telecom business, you need to bring before a lot of like plans, delivery plans, Microsoft projects, Gantt charts, and everything, and all like a huge, like maybe the documents of delivery is like this thick, and they have this huge amount of money, and they have strict deadlines. You have to deliver. So it was quite difficult to work Agile with telecom companies. So our customer did not adopt that method. They were working like more in maybe iterative waterfall, probably like we were doing mostly like sticking to the plan and contract. So. And it actually worked, because sales were great. Like it was, we were actually making a mobile application store for Wimpelcom in Russia, in Bangkok for smart telephone, in Dubai, Etisalat. So it was actually 2008, 2005, 2008 were like a booming market, and people were just buying anything, and telecom operators were so rich that they could spend money on apps even if they didn't need them. So sales were great, and we actually didn't care. And this was the main reason we have not been adopting any process at all, because we were getting paid. Why would we need some process? We get money. So, in that case. And then what happened is actually about 2010 and 2000, we have started to see that, oh my God, they took our jobs. This Google and Apple, they have their own app stores now. And operators don't buy any app store services anymore. And even GetJar started to close and started to go for exit. So all actually those operator app stores and those third-party app stores, they just like a gone in the period of 1 year. And of course, the company Surf Kitchen, they also had to adapt and they changed and they didn't need our services anymore. So we were left like, we thought like, oh my God, what's going on now? It's, we were relying on one business too much. And now we had, at that time we had like already like 30 developers, a lot of people. So we said so I said like, okay, we need to find more customers. But actually what happened is that during this time, one thing probably that I was doing right is investing into relations, investing into people. So we become friends with all the customers that we had. So we were like drinking buddies with them. Somebody became godfather of our developer's child, and there was like so much close relationship. So, as this happened, when this company broke up, those guys in the other companies of our clients, they also closed. And they went to look for another job. For example, chief financial officer, he went to work for a British company, Arizo. And Arizo were also in telecom business, but they were doing radio network planning tools. And there was some revolution coming in radio network planning because, you know, now we have a new generation of mobile network. It's called LTE and self-optimizing networks. So as we speak, mobile operators around the world are upgrading their infrastructure. And they have now antennas with servo motors that can actually adjust to any need of traffic, well, in theory. But for that, they need software. And for software, they need software developers. And software developers with specific skills in telecommunications. And that's where we came in. So this chief financial officer, he went to that company, and he actually brought the part of that team that was left without a job to the new project. Mark O'Shea, this guy who was teaching me, he went to another company that is working with the United Nations, that is doing the water network. The United Nations and UNICEF at the moment, they're investing a lot into the global solution of the water problems. There is a lot of people who do not have access of like a clean water. So they are investing, creating like a social network of professionals who can help and can dig the well for you, or who can send you water decontaminators very quickly. So now we make mobile apps and send it to all people around the world. So if they have a problem with water, they can immediately solve that problem. So, and he said they need a mobile app, and for mobile apps they need developers, and they came in. So actually by investing into the people relations, when crisis came and the one part of the business that we were relying so much, it crashed. Well, it definitely happens because all the good things will end eventually. By investing into people, we have even increased the capacity. So now we have 60 developers and growing ever since. So yeah, and at that time, I actually learned a little bit about sales. And when now those companies, they came to interview Telesoftas. And I didn't, like I said, I was purely investing only to the human relations. And when they say, like, Do you have some process in your company? Are you using Agile? Because we are using Agile in our company. Can you adapt? And I say, of course, yes, 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 yes. We are Agile. Scrum is everything to us, and Agile is everything to us. And that happened, and it naturally evolved because we have now project managers who are like certified PMP professionals, and it all came on demand. Like I was not trying to get like to integrate Scrum or integrate like process development. Actually, I was told constantly to do that in your company, otherwise you are a bunch of cowboys. But I said, of course, yes, yes, yes. But I only done that on demand when people came with that process. And then I started it. And now we have it. Of course, for United Nations and ERISA, there is a quite good process in place for the projects. Of course, we're still outsourcing company, so it's not for all the company. So in the new year actually came, we started to make wonderful applications that are really matters, and this UNICEF social network make it into a water network campaign, already have a million users, million of professionals. The tool for radio network planning is actually now the most advanced tool in the world, again. And for the mobile apps that we started to do, they are now used by like Dubai Wafi Mall, the largest mall, probably one of the largest malls in the world. So a result did came out of that, out of our okay, good. Like, and for that, I just see that there is wonderful results, and I was not trying to make any process. What I did probably from the best thing I like in Agile Manifesto is that actually, what did I have? I actually lived my life. I was just making friends, making family, having fun. And I was investing in all those people, in actually all those 60 employees I have. I'm friends with each of them, so I know personally, have personal connections to everybody. And what is mostly important to build in your company, if you want to be successful, is to actually invest in people and just keep constantly doing that. And that's probably Telesofta's recipe for success. Like, be positive, make friends, have fun, and no matter what happens, invest in people. And as for you, what I would say, in any project, whatever development you are doing, I think this is my greatest advice, that be yourself, do not go over, like do not set your private goals first, and then set the company goals. If your private goals are the same with your company goals, then you will become successful. So if I can do it, you can do it. Okay. Okay, guys, so you probably all want now the prizes. Probably you're looking forward to get the, the 6 o'clock prizes. Okay, so guys, who needs some more mentoring? Who needs some questions to be answered about mobile application development or running a company? You can ask now. Yeah, that gentleman. Hello.
Do you ever say no to someone?
No. I always say yes. Actually, for 11 years we had internal awards in our company, so they made me an award. It's called the Yes Man. So I have this award.
When you said there is an app for getting access to clean water, I thought it was a joke, but then I thought that it's probably not because you showed some.
No, it's not. The water network.
How do you, can afford the smartphone and app, but you cannot afford access to water?
Well, it's actually a big. Actually, it's a paradox because, as you know, the biggest problem with water now is India and Africa. Indian subcontinent and African subcontinent. And actually, African subcontinent have the best mobile network at the moment. They have the best infrastructure because they didn't have any like old infrastructure here. And those mobile operators that are coming, like Etisalat, the Arab Emirates operator, they're very rich. They're coming to Nigeria, they're building towers, bringing with a ship whole lot of smartphones from China, and they're giving them away. So, but they do not give, I told them maybe those operators could like maybe make some wells when they're making a tower, but they do not, it's purely due to business. Because businessmen, they would still like make goals, and with Africa, they still look for profits, and it's not profitable for them to. Well, in the long term, I think they're making a mistake, and the project like the Water Network project, I think, is going to help and fix that problem. Yeah. Oh, yes, that gentleman, please.
So then, bearing all the progress in mind, what are your future goals? What are the greatest opportunities? And then what are the biggest risks you are foreseeing in the future?
Yes, so with risks, as I mentioned, like probably it's it would be good to try and predict when our business areas are going to fail and what's next. But as I mentioned to you, in mobile business, the actually quite big revolution is coming because we will not be having any more voice plans, and we will have now only data plans, and there will be all about the capacity of network. And if you want, if you are like foreseeing your business, you should foresee that your business should aim to utilize this increasing capacities of mobile network. So if you go to that direction and maybe set the strategic goals of your business, if you're doing mobile companies, so then you probably succeed. Of course, what can happen, like another. Like some depression might come in software development, probably because now there is like a frameworks coming, and this like language programming. Now probably when an artificial intelligence is evolving, so by doing more of that frameworks, maybe software developers will be not needed at all, and computers will program themselves. And that would be wonderful, but that would be a total disaster for me because I'll be put out of business.
One more question.
Yeah, that gentleman. Hi.
Which room you were living in Katu for dormitory?
It's 302. It's a room 302. It's where Telesofta started. I should put a badge on that. That should be a special room. In what room you are living in? 5 to 1. 5 to 1, I remember. Yeah, very beautiful. Very beautiful girls.